Hello, everybody out there on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to open the doors in just a minute. So thank you for being there, and thank you for your patience. And here we go. Get your dancing shoes on. All right. I see it. I see the energy. I see that everybody was up too late, just like me, watching the news. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, everybody out there on Facebook Live. Hello, everybody in this room. Welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. We are so glad to have you all with us today. Yeah, let the dancing continue. Greetings to Arlene. Hello, in California. You're up early after, I'm sure, also being up late last night. Gay, hello, nice to see you today. Steve in Baltimore. Deborah in Kentucky. Jane in the UK, hello, dancing for us over there. Paula, thank you so much for being here today. Great to see you. Hello, Betsy, music director at Washington Rebels. Glad you're here. And Ida, great to have you in the room today, sweetie. Glad you're here. Did you hear all the good news about Georgia? Can we get a thumbs up from Ida? Yeah, there you go. And Anne, hello, nice to see you today, coming in from New York. Michelle coming in from Maryland. Kathy in Virginia. Susan in Ohio, hello. Another Susan in Gettysburg, and Shirley maybe in the background. Hello, Sheila in Florida, and Busy Graham, Carpe Diem Arts, hello, nice to have you today. And Lisa in Indiana, hello. Sarah, hello, nice to see you. Dion in Massachusetts, Lynn and Pooch in Connecticut, great to see you. Hello, Trish and Carolyn in Idaho, hello. Catherine, hello, nice to see you today. And Beth in Kentucky, hello. Janet and Pete in Toronto. Wait, let's hold the card up again. Thank you, Georgia. That's what Beth is saying. Thank you, Beth. Yeah, no kidding. Thank you, Stacey Abrams. Janet and Peter in Toronto. Hello. Michelle in Trinidad and Tobago. Are you also celebrating with us today? Yay, there we go. Nicola in the UK, also celebrating across the waters. Nice to see you. Susan in Seattle. Hello. Isabel, hello. In Florida, great to have you today. Rosalie in Michigan. Annette in California. Jan in Edmonton, hello. Nancy, nice to see you. Fran and Dale in Colorado. Oh, it's the Dale half without Fran today. Nice to see you, Dale. Dick and Kathy in Victoria, hello. Glad you guys are here. Also, hopefully jumping for joy with us today. Things are improving in 2021 already. Becky in Vancouver, great to see you. Suzanne and Stephen Ithaca, hello. Glad you're here today. Deli in the DC area, hello. Nice to see you. And to the folks who are not on video, Sandra and Joni and Sue and Doug and Dennis and Miriam and Beryl and others, I'm so glad you're all here today to celebrate a great day and to be part of a singing about the new year. And so singing about the new year indeed, because it is 2021 and we've been celebrating that all week and thinking of all the different ways to be celebratory and to remember what it's going to mean and how much work we need to do, but to be grateful for new beginnings. So today's song is definitely a new beginnings song, but today's news is also a new beginnings news. And, you know, there's a lot of things to talk about what it shows about our nation. And maybe we'll get into those kinds of discussions like that later or soon. But for now, let's stick with the positive outcome and all of the movement that creates behind it. And I am going to shout out Stacey Abrams again, because how could we not shout out Stacey Abrams under the circumstances? What an amazing person, and with her head in all of the right places. And it's really, really, really invigorating and inspiring. So without any more, well, with a little more babble. So lyrics are in the chat and my email's in the chat in case you want to get on our Daily Antidote email list. We send out who's singing every day, oftentimes with the lyrics in advance, or you can just email me with comments and questions. And also I want to thank Binta coming in from San Francisco, who's running our tech today and who will also help manage questions. We're going to take questions in the chat today. So if you have questions for Lea, or if you want to voice any opinions about the good news or about 2021, please put them in the chat, and Binta's going to help by reading things out loud. And now I want to turn it over to today's fabulous, amazing, wonderful artist who's been with us since the first week of the Daily Antidote. And we are now just about at 275 days, give or take a day. And Lea, we're so excited that you're back in this room with us today. It's a great way to start 2021 by looking at you and listening to you and singing with you.
And singing together. I am very, very pleased to be here. Thank you, Joe and Busy, for the invitation. And thank you to Peter Mayer for writing yet another beautiful song that we can sing together to celebrate the moment we're in. So this song is called One More Circle. You'll see the lyrics are in the chat there. The chorus it goes by pretty quickly, so maybe we should prepare ourselves in case you just want to narrow in on that part. The chorus goes like this. I'd say this year at Fly Together has been fun. What say we make one more circle, one more circle, one more circle around the sun. But the rest of the song is really singable too, so join me on the whole thing if you feel it. We have been weighed down by sadness like a stone. We have yearned, we have yearned. We have sometimes felt so utterly alone. While we turned, while we turned, we've been stricken by the wonder of it all. Stricken down, stricken down. We have sometimes felt so faint we want to fall, overcome, but all in all, I'd say this year and Fly Together is worth trying to run. Would say we make one more circle, one more circle, one more circle around the sun. And I should add that I changed the lyric on the chorus because originally Peter said, this year in Flight Together has been fun. And I honor that 2020 has not been fun for everybody experiencing it. But this is time for something different, right? We have raised our fists in anger and we've tried to work it out, to work it out. That we need each other, we cannot deny. There is no doubt, there is no doubt. So let us weave another dream in outer space. While we're turning, while we're turning on this planet home that holds our human race. Still we are learning, but all in all, I'd say this year in Flight Together was quite a run. What say we make one more circle, one more circle, one more circle around the sun. Let's do that chorus again. I say this year in Flight Together was a real wild one. What say we make one more circle, one more circle, yeah. One more circle, one more circle, one more circle around the sun.
Yay, Leah, thank you so much.
With pleasure, with great pleasure. Thank you
for bringing us incredibly perfect words for the start of 2021. And it really is still the start. We're still in the first week of 2021 and giving a lot of thought to what it means to be here and what it means for our nation, what it means for our globe. And those words actually were ridiculously perfect. Thank you for choosing that great song. All of it, the parts about feeling like we're losing energy or losing hope or feeling alone, and all of the importance of looking at it and saying, let's do what we need to do and get around it again another year. I think that's all just perfect and amazing. Lea, do you know anything about where, like, the sentiments behind what caused him to write it? Any of the notions of where he was in his life?
Well, the song has been around for years. It's on one of his records that we've had in our family for probably a decade. And like I said, I just tweaked the lyrics on the chorus a little because Has Been Fun just didn't feel appropriate to all of 2020. But it's been a run, right? It's been a wild ride. And here we go for another time around. But I couldn't say specifically. Probably he was just celebrating New Year's and felt like writing a song.
That's great.
And
Love
I
it.
agree with what you said. He talks about the sadness and the wonder, and to recognize this song that is not new, but raising our fists in anger. We've had that experience. We've had the experience of recognizing how much we need each other. That just shows the timelessness and the prophetic nature of a really strong song.
Yep, exactly. Totally amazing. And, one of the phrases that we say at Revels is take joy. And I think we've all struggled in this room between that notion of wanting to feel joyful and celebrate and look at the bright side of life and make ourselves feel better at the same time as trying to keep our eye on the reality. And I saw some tweets over the last 12 hours of maybe sort of sleeping that really sort of brought it home to me. One tweet actually by Warnock, who said that his 82-year-old mother, whose hands picked somebody else's cotton, went to the polls and picked her son as a senator. And I just thought that was unfathomably moving and beautiful. And lots of other stuff in the Twitter about voter suppression and what it means and what might actually be going on in other states, and the notion that what happened this year in Georgia needs to happen now in other states to make sure that the voters are actually getting to the polls and given the right to vote. And I think that is potentially an inspiring way to look at it, that there's a lot of voter suppression, not actually that 50% of our nation is actually okay with racism, but rather that there are a lot of unheard people. And that when we listen to them all, we'll have a little tipping of a balance that says, like, okay, there's more movement here than we think.
And to that same topic, there are a lot of people who feel disenfranchised and who aren't trying to vote because they feel like they don't have a vote, they don't have a voice, and that their voice isn't being heard. And so this moment of tumultuous uncertainty in the democracy is really important for defining and deciding what that's going to be and what it's going to look like, so that more people even feel inspired to vote, to be heard, to be involved in the making and remaking and reimagining what America is going to be. Yes,
very much so. And so anybody who wants to pop a comment or a question for Lea about the song or about the situation, or just your own feelings in the chat, between Bint and I, we're going to get some things read out. I did see one that went by where somebody said that they find it was Joni. I find it encouraging that there is work we can actually do. And I think that has been part of it, sort of around the time of George Floyd's murder, is we all understood there was work that needed to be done, but maybe not so much understanding what our role in it could be. And one of the things I think that happened in this past tough year was that we started to understand more where the spaces are where we can do the work. And so even something as simple as helping to get out the vote in states where things are needed, hopefully 2 years from now, there'll be a team of people rushing to some of those states to do the same kind of thing that just happened in Georgia. And feeling like your voice isn't heard is a big theme, I know, of this past year. I can't breathe and no one is listening. And 2021 is hopefully a year for better listening all around, and helping everyone to breathe literally and figuratively, and really, really looking for those places where we can start to pull everyone into a healthier space. So Binta, do you see anything in the chat that you'd like to read or share or ask?
There's a question from Jane Fremont saying, what is it feeling like in DC today? She is concerned for everyone who's in DC.
Yes.
I'm not in DC.
So I am actually, I'm in an apartment right now in DC where I lived 10 years ago, and I am a mile away from the big action. And last night there were helicopters, but it wasn't terrible. But the images, which anyone can see of what it looks like down there right now, some of them really are petrifying. The images of the violence, the images of folks in face paint with weapons on their shirt, like it's so frightening. And the thought of all of the police down there who are having to, in their masks, be fighting literally with unmasked people to gain or maintain control of the situation. It makes me so sad. It's so unfair, and something is so wrong. So I read in the news that they're expecting 30,000 people. I haven't seen but one mask in any of the photos that I saw, and the notion that there are that size crowds of people gathering under the circumstances, it's mind-boggling. So I'm not going to walk in that direction today, because what the mayor is actually asking us to all do is please not go out. And I think it's a really wise move, and I hope people will stay home and stay out of it, and let the police do their job as best as they can with folks who aren't taking those types of warnings to heart. But thank you, Jane, great question. And I'm wondering, sort of to ask the question back, is there anybody in the room in Georgia who wants to tell us what it's like in Georgia today? I'm gonna scroll around and look and see if we've got any hands. Janet in Georgia, I see you're here. Is there here? Hang on one second, I'm gonna see if I can unmute you. Is there any noise you're hearing from your?
Not so much right now. And I live away from downtown Atlanta. I've sort of been avoiding watching much of the news coverage just because it was so tense last night and so close. And everything I'm reading right now says there's still 2% of the polls to come back in, and that worries me a bit. We're not there, not completely there yet, and I want to celebrate, but I'm scared too. You know what I mean? So
Very wise.
I'm thankful, but I'm also distressed that it is so close. One would hope that it would have been a much bigger margin, and there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done.
There's a lot of work to be done, yes. And here's hoping that we are not, in fact, taking back our celebration today. I saw it called in a lot of places, but I do know that there are still things being counted, and most of the things are showing that it's going in the right direction. But of course, caution would have been potentially a little bit better than jumping right into the joy. So everybody, take a deep breath. Hold on to that energy, because no matter what happens in the next 24 hours or 48 hours, we're going to need the energy. So thank you, Janet, for pointing out a very, very good way of looking at the world right now. So I'm going to look around also and see if there are any other folks. Oh, actually, Binta, you want to go into the chat again and see if there are comments?
I'm not really seeing that much in terms of like a discussion, but there's a lot in praise of Lea. Susan Miller of Seattle says, Lea, you are such a loving, inspiring voice for unity and change. Keep sharing your vision through your singing. Gary Smith says, Lea, I've been loving listening to and singing your songs during the pandemic. We've learned so many of your original songs for our Zoom singing circle. And, oh, Lea already saw them, and responded, but now everyone else gets to hear them.
Lea appreciates. Thank you.
Yeah, so everyone is in agreement that Lea is great. And if anyone else has any questions or comments.
So someone, let's see, Hetty, actually, who's in the room from Georgia, said, contact your legislators to ensure efforts to undermine voters be held in check. There are once again efforts in Georgia to change the laws to make it harder to register. So I think that's actually a big piece of, it's a big piece of our upcoming year, is focusing on those things that are in place that are actually keeping people down. The ways in which, I think that's part of the racism that we maybe didn't see before, the ways in which the very structures are racist. And so thank you, Hetty, for that. And we're glad that you're in the room from Georgia. And so let's see, Lea, if there are no other questions, one thing I was thinking, if you're willing, is that it'd be really amazing to sing through the whole song again. because
Let's
it's
do it.
amazing. And I think it's a really great way for us to carry ourselves through the day.
Sure. Gladly. Have you got the lyrics? You want to put them back up, Joe? Okay. Cool. And once again, I definitely encourage anybody to take a look at petermayer.net. It's a gifted songwriter. You'll be very pleased with anything you pick up from there. We have been weighed down by sadness like a stone. We have yearned. We have yearned. And we have sometimes felt so utterly alone. While we turn, and we've been stricken by the wonder of it all. Stricken down. We have sometimes felt so faint we want to fall. Overcome. But all in all, I'd say this year in flight together was quite a ride. What say we make one more circle? One more circle. One more circle around the sun. We have raised our fists in anger and we've tried to work it out, that we need each other, we cannot deny. There is no doubt, so let us weave another dream in outer space. While we're turning on this planet home that holds our human race. Still we are learning, but all in all, I'd say this year in flight together was a real wild one. What say we make one more circle? One more circle. One more circle, let's make one more circle around the sun.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Lea. Amazing way to go out into our day. And I think it's tomorrow, actually, that we exit the first week of the new year. And so for the rest of the month of January, we're going to be singing songs that are going to be social change and songs that are going to be racial justice and songs that are going to be hope and songs that are going to be joy, trying to find the just right balance to keep us all moving forward into 2021 in a good place. I want to just point out that while Lea was singing, I looked back and saw that the very first song that Lea ever sang in this space was Don't Build Your House on a Sandy Land. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so maybe, Lea, as we approach our 300th day, we'll have you come back and share that same song if you're willing.
I'll ask Brother Jacob if he's up for it.
That's perfect. Yeah, he was wonderful. That's right. So thank you to Lea. Let's all give Lea another big shout out. Thanks, Lea. We can't wait to sing with you again.
Thank you guys. Have a beautiful day.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Binta, thank you so much for helping with the tech and with the chat box. And to everybody in this room, I can't wait to see you all tomorrow. I don't remember what day tomorrow is or who's singing or anything. So there you go. That's what comes up from staying up too late and watching political news. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody on Facebook. Thanks, gang, for being with us, and hope to sing with you again tomorrow.